Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson from Wealthy Investor Trade School with another hot stock tip and stock market video that's going to help you. If you're watching me here on YouTube, be sure to click that subscribe button every time I place one of these educational videos. You'll be sure to be notified. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about what's going on with a very important stock that either you own or you may want to own, and that company, of course, is Apple. So pay attention carefully to what I'm about to teach you and what I'm about to show you now, because my job is to really help you make as much money in the stock market as possible by choosing good stocks, or as we say at Wealthy Investor Trade School, good dates. Remember, we don't fall in love with stocks, we only date them. Your job is to pick as many good dates as possible. So look at this chart here now. We see that it is a 5-year chart of Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. And as we know, Apple is a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and everybody's familiar with their products from iPhones to iPads to all of their wonderful and creative accessories. This is a 5-year chart, but I want you to take a look at a picture of a recent chart, and this is really important. This is the 1-year chart of Apple. So even if you didn't know anything about MACD or Fibonacci lines or any of those great technical indicators that a lot of the big time traders tell you you're supposed to understand, I'm going to ask you a very simple question because this is how I teach the stock market. Do you like this picture, stock going down, or do you like this picture, stock rising? You see, in the Wealthy Investor Program, we do everything from pictures. So in the last year, we noticed that Apple, Dow component stock, going down. Now, what's really interesting is if we look at another Dow component, which is Microsoft, here's the 5-year chart, right? You don't have to be a whiz to say stock going higher, right? But look at the 1-year chart of Microsoft. Stock sort of kind of rising. We call that an upward trending stock versus Apple in the same market, stock going down. Why is it Microsoft, which is also a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and Apple, which is a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, same market, 1-year chart, Apple stock going down, Microsoft stock kind of rising, a little bit of range bound and some volatility here. But I want to focus on Apple's chart. Okay, because this is something that I see in a lot of my students, and I think it's really important that you understand this. And I'm going to go back to the 5-year chart to explain this. Over the past 5 years, Apple has been less and less focusing on innovation. Okay. Now, a lot of traders and investors are going to disagree with me on this because they own the stock and they just emotionally want it to go higher. But there was a point in time where Apple was focusing on constantly innovating its product. Right now, after the passing of Steve Jobs, there's been a lot of product refreshes. So think about it if you own an iPhone, right, or an Apple product. How many newer versions of the same device have you seen in the last 3 years? Many. How many brand new devices outside of the watch have you seen? That's called innovation. Not enough. So, if you've ever watched any of my lessons on money flow, you'll know that in the last year, the money flow that really runs the stock market, I refer to them as big money, which is college endowments, hedge funds, right? Trading desks on banks and insurance companies. They are not in love with Apple stock because of this lack of innovation. The long time investors say, we'll hold on to the stock, no problem. But if I'm trying to help you make maximum dollar without being greedy in the stock market, you must understand money flow. And when the big money, right, is leaving a stock due to lack of innovation. By contrast, look at this. This is a 1-year chart, same exact market as Apple, and Microsoft is heading up. Why? Because Microsoft is in an innovation mode with what service in particular? With their cloud services, basically data storage for individuals and hospitals and banks and institutions and museums all around the world. Which means what? That the revenue at Microsoft, the top line annual and quarterly revenue, are going to continue to grow because they're starting to dominate in cloud services. So you can choose to hold on to your shares or buy into a company like Apple, 1 year chart, stock going down, lack of innovation. But I think what you really want is a company like Microsoft, right, that is engaged in technological innovation, therefore, stock, top line revenue rising rising. The difference between choosing a good date and a bad date is how we make our money as wealthy investors in the stock market. Sometimes we have to break up with a company, stock going down, and start dating a company with the stock that's actually rising. Now, I use dates because that concept is really, really simple. So, if you want to learn more about the stock market, how to trade, how to invest in very, very simple language, that's why I have witradeschool.com. Okay? So at WI Trade School, don't forget, we're just a few days away from you joining Wealthy Investor Trade School, and you can send me your stock trading and investing questions. Not only that, what I'm focusing on, particularly in this market in Wealthy Investor Trade School, is what? Stocks that are rising, because those are the ones that you really want to know about. So you can do all of the research that you want on your own, or you can simply follow my stock picks at witradeschool.com. So join me there so that I can answer your question this week. You can see all of my trading strategies in video form, but I find that where a lot of people get stuck is they try to figure things out on their own. I have 20 years of trading and investing experience, and I love, love, love it when you, my students, do really, really, really well. So let me introduce you here at WI Trade Tools to some stocks that are actually doing well, that are in upward trends and have innovations, so you can take advantage of them as well. My job is to help you make as much money as possible trading and investing in the stock market while keeping it really, really simple. Hey, this is Tyrone Jackson from Wealthy Investor Trade School saying happy trading, and I'll see you soon.